Hi guys, it's Tao from Shine Bright Design, and today you are watching this video because you want to know how to color skin. So I've split this up into two videos. One is how to color light skin and how to color dark skin. But I'm going to show you visually what you will be coloring today. For the light skin, we are going to color something like this, which is really peachy and a little bit warm. This one is more pale. This one has the blue and purple tones running through it. Whereas this one is more, it's more pink, it's more yellow toned, and it has a lot of that purple for the shadow. The next one you're going to learn is this one, which is really pale, but it's got green undertones in the skin. And this is typically someone who has very fair, milky skin, but when they have a lot of green undertones, their veins are very green-blue, so this is a typical skin tone of it as well. And this is very peachy, very pink. So this is one of my warmer of the sets. It's my pinkier of the set that I've done. And these are just some of the color tones that I do generally when I color, and they're really different to what you see online at the moment. So guys, I know I've done these in Prismacolor, but check out my color wheel substitution wheel, because that converts any pencil brand to another brand. So don't worry if you're following this tutorial and you think, I don't have those pencils, I can't color the same skin tone. Well, that's fine. Just substitute the pencils that I have used in this tutorial for something in another brand. And just check out my video on my YouTube channel. It may be of use, and check it out on Etsy. I've had great reviews on it and people find it really handy. So guys, don't think that just because you're following a tutorial in one brand specific doesn't mean that you cannot learn from it, because you can. And if you can't afford the pencils that people are using to do tutorials, you can still follow their tutorials with my wheel. And we shouldn't be held back because we don't have a brand of pencil. You know, the techniques are there. You just can slightly change things a little and substitute it for a close enough color, and you can still learn to be a great artist. So the other part of this is my dark skin. So this is one of the darkest of the skins that I've colored. This one has really blue undertones and really cool highlights as well. This one is more my red-brown type of skin tone, and it has a lot of purple undertones with a bit of warmth as well. This one is a very purple dark skin tone, and this is like a very purple but also mauve lilac type of highlight. It's very interesting. And this one is my very tanned golden glowed skin. Okay, so sometimes you guys may look at this and think, how it's just a ball of skin color, how is that supposed to work? Well, you just have to look at faces, right? Check out my face. If you're going to color something, you look at the structure of the face. If it's flat, that's fine. Just use your imagination. If there is structure in the face, you got to think about the hollows of your cheek. So you have shadows here. A lot of the undertones go here. You look at the highlights of the face. So here, where there are your cheekbones hit the light and you can see the lightness of the skin here, these are where your highlight colors. And then everywhere else is like in between. So between the shadows here, so see that darkness I have here, but also see that highlight color and that shadow here. See these areas? These are the medium colors. So when you're thinking about anatomy and skin, think about dividing your skin tones or your face structures into three areas. One is the shadows or the undertones, right? The other is the medium area, which is mainly your transition area. and then your highlights. So the transition area is the colors that help you go from the dark to the highlight color. And then you also got to think about the shadows. Sometimes shadows aren't just black, you know. We don't use just black to create shadows. Sometimes we can create color to create an undertone, okay? So for example, if you look at my skin, I have a very warm complexion, but if you look at this lighting at the moment, you can see a bit of a blue light in my skin. And like, what I mean is that, yes, I can teach you how to color skin, but you also have to consider the environment that you are building this portrait around. If the environment has lights reflecting on them, you have to reflect the light in an appropriate way. So you have to use your imagination. So for example, for this one I have a really yellow highlight. And so typically if you're looking at the background or the environment the character in, it's very warm, it's very vibrant, it's very sunny. Okay, where this one is not bright, not yellow, but it's almost like I would say it's either like a sunsetty dusk type of day. So it's not very bright in the day, but the only reason I bring this up is because highlight colors reflect the environment. So the light that's, you know, that's being reflected from the environment onto our skin. And so on and so forth, okay? So guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Comment below if you have any comments or questions, and if you have any requests. I only did 4 of each skin tone, and sometimes when I do skin, I always wing it. I always just follow my instinct and flow, and having a set palette and following a tutorial helps you build your skills so that one day you don't even need to follow a color palette. You can just wing it and figure it out on your own. So I hope this is really good for people who are beginners and that you can gain something from this tutorial. I know you guys think I'm a bit crazy to pick up this color, and it's a bit fuba. For you colorists who don't know what it means effed up beyond repair, okay? So let's just go with the flow. I'm going to show you that you should not be intimidated by color when it comes to skin, and that you can achieve anything if you want. Now, we're not going to use that much of this green. We're not going to cover the whole thing like I previously have done with the darker tones. So with light skin, I like to give it a bit of a touch of color to make it a bit interesting. You would see that if you've watched my Vampira tutorial, which is one of my most popular skin tutorials that people love. And there's something about it, something this milky tone, but these hints of color that just give it a bit of wow, right? So I'm going to give you another wow, and I am winging this. I am not pre-planned this. I'm just going to go with my color choices that I just picked out of the air, and we'll see how it goes. So working in small circular motions, you want to go really lightly, feather it out. This is where I go in with my clay rose, which is the 1017. You want to go over that now. Blend it out. So this green is going to be this undertone shade color. And when I work with light skin tones, I don't put that much pigment in. So with skin tone, with lighter skin tone, it's a bit different. Use the colors to create interesting undertones, but because you're working with such a fair skin, you don't need that much pigment, and you try and control and work in really, really fine layers. So this is the type of skin tone where you have very pale skin, so pale that you can see almost like your green veins underneath, or green like blood vessels. And some people who have fair skin have a green blue undertone. So this is a representation of that. And so my skin tones that I'm presenting to you today is very different from what you will see online. It's kind of non-traditional, it's a bit out of the box, and sometimes you need out of the box just to broaden your mind. So let's soften that out. Now you want to go in with a Beige Sienna, which is 1080. This is less pink, it's more neutral. There's a bit of warmth in it as well, but we're not going to use that much pigment. So depending on how much shadow you want to place in the face, use more of these colors and less if you don't. Okay, so let's feather that out even more. Let's go into a more neutral color. This is Beige 997. Working in small circular motions, remember to rotate your pencil, keeping all your edges sharp. This will prevent snapping of the tip as you use more of that pigment. Bring that beige colour into those clay rose and greens that we've laid down. And keeping those strokes real light, real short. I'm going in with a Seashell Pink, which is 1093. Placing this on the shadow area. You can still see that green coming through. Running this across your shadow area and feathering it out into this highlight point towards the right. Let's say you want to add a blush. So let's just treat this bottom corner as like your blush zone. So you use the clay rose, which is the 1017. You feather it out. And say you want to add more shadow to it. Make sure there's a more of a chiseled cheek or a very contoured nose. We can use a grey. This is Putty Beige, which is 1083. We're going to place this where the Ceylon green was. we're going to connect it to that peach color. Now, as I said, it is a green undertone, so you want almost like a green highlight. This is 2H9. We're going in at these highlight points on the right, and we're blending it into that Ceylon green and that clay rose area, like so. In the center, where there's a highlight point, your layers are very light. You can extend this also through the whole thing, but we focus to this highlight zone. This will keep it lightest because you've built up more layers in the highlight zone. So top of the cheekbones, tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, point of the cheeks, contourings of the jaw. So you can use this color, don't burnish, but build up that layer so that as you go over with more colors, you're retaining that almost lightness in the paper. This color is also blending out those colors that have been laid down. We're going to go in with a white, which is 938. Make sure your white is clean because you do not want any pigment from a previous artwork slipping in. So let's go on top of where that light green was. Keeping our highlight point very, very bright. Going back in with your beige, which is 997. I've burnished on the shadow area. Continue to build up your layers. Let's go back in with the 289, which is your grey green light. Let's go in with your white. And this is where I like to burnish. But when you're working with light skin, I like to burnish from the highlight points, working out towards the shadows. Okay, so this is one of my favorite type of tones. This is similar to what I've done for the Vampire. This is 1025, using periwinkle to create some shadows. Now, as I said before, when you're doing lighter skin, you don't use that much pigment. So, we're going to go in a little. The shadows. So I've laid down my periwinkle. I go in with a 1026. I overlay it on top. Then you want to go in with a rosy beige, which is 1019. Go over the whole thing. Now you want to go in with a peach, which is 939. The next colour you want to go in with is a light peach, which is 927. And with this colour you want to run it through the whole thing, all the way up to the highlight point. Here I'm following the curvature of the circle, or in your case you would follow the curvature of the face, leaving the highlight points quite minimal. Now you want to go in with cream, which is 914. Do the same thing, run it across the whole thing, keeping your highlight points quite clean. You'll see how much I go in. I go in slightly a little, just a little touch further in, like maybe 2-3 mils. Let's go in with the Beige Sienna. This is 1019. Bring it in on the shadow points and working your way in. Now you're going in with the peach, which is 939. in with 140. We're going to bring this over everything. We're going to go back in with a 927. Now we're going to go in with white. Making sure your white is clean and not have any pigment from anything previously done. So always like get a piece of scrap paper and just rub it against that just to make sure there's no like blue or reds on it. That way when you do this, it's a clean blend. So I use the white because it lightens it all and it blends it all together, giving you this milky skin finish with a bit of like warmth. Alright, so this next one is more of a tanned skin tone. Going in with Mineral Orange, which is a 1033. Same type of technique. You want to place this down on your shadow areas first. We're going to work in a light hand. You now want to go in with Peach, which is 939. Then you want to go in with your clay rose, which is 1017. Going in with Nectar, which is 1092. That is just Breezy, the Staffy, who likes to sit in my room and keep me company. He often snores, so don't mind the sound. You now want to go in with Palma Violet, which is 1008. Going in with 929, going over the whole thing, letting it all in. The next colour you want to go in with is Goldenrod, which is 1034. Next you want to go in back with Clay Rose, which is a 1017. Back in with that 927. Now I've burnished around the dark areas with this 927. And we're just fading it out. In with 140, we're going to burnish here. I'm going to run this color over the whole thing. Going in with the 927. In with white, which is 938, making sure your white is clean. I'm just going to run it here on these highlight points on the right. This will lighten the colour as well. And then back in the center, burnish, giving it a milky finish. Okay, last one. So this is going to be more of a pink tone. Pink, yeah, a lot of pinks. A lot of pinks, not so much yellow. But to do our shadow, we want Caribbean Sea, which is the 1103. This is a lighter blue. So I'm not going to put so much blue in it this time because it's mainly pink, and I don't want the blue to overshadow the pink tones that I'm trying to create. I'm just using this as shadow color or underpainting shadow color. And so you want to feather that out now with a really light hand. Keep your strokes really small. Small circular motions as well, that helps. Now you want to go in with your pinks. The first color we're going to go in with is Nectar. I'm going to let it touch the edge on the left here. And you see as once it goes over that blue, it kind of builds that shadow tone, because the blue, once it mixes with the pink, becomes purpley. You can always use purple as well, but I find this technique is very light. It also gives you a lot of control in terms of how much pigment is being used and how much of the red and blue tones show up. So that's why I use a blue with a pink, because the pink has red in it as well. So it's still going to knock back that blue, and it's going to utilize that blue as a shadow, like an undertone. Because what I've noticed is sometimes purple can be very vibrant, and when you mix other colors on top of it, it becomes more like a murky purple. And so this allows me to keep the vibrancy of the pink without dulling it down. And really it all comes to technique, making sure that you blend things out properly. And working in those thin layers. Softening the left side as well, so that it's not as harsh. Now I want to go in with a peach, which is 939. This is more orangey pink. You want to go in with a pink now, which is 1013. in with Seashell Pink, which is 1093. With 927. This color is going to knock back that Seashell Pink, the yellow in that color. So this is more pinky tone, pinky peach tone, which is ideal. Because I want this to be mainly pink, I'm running this colour even in its highlight zones. We're going to go in with Peach, which is 939. These dark zones, these shadow zones, we're going to place this colour and build up the layers. Bring in that pink, making it more prominent. Going in with beige, which is 997. Going in with 140. Then with 914. In with 927. Going in with white, 938. In with the 1092. there we go. So guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed that tutorial, whether you have benefited from the light skin or the dark skin tutorials and the color palettes that I've shown. I know they're really different from what you are seeing online at the moment in terms of colors being used and technique, but this is my technique, and I hope people can learn something from my technique and find ease in it as a beginner or whatever level you are. And subscribe, and please press that bell button and do not miss out on my weekly content releases. You can contact me via Instagram if you like, if you follow any of my tutorials and tag me. I love showing your colored pieces on my Instagram channels to say anyone can follow my tutorials, anyone can learn to be an amazing artist, because you can. You all can be amazing and you all have the potential to be great. So, it's me from Shine Bright Design. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for inviting me into your homes and, you know, coloring with me. Be you, be true, and shine bright. Bye.